Gil is asking a question. Apparently, his tenants moved in. They've been there about 2 months, and they just submitted a repair request for two faucets that appear to be leaking. Miguel wants to know, is this his expense as the landlord, or is this the tenant's expense? So typically, the most atypical would be that it would be a landlord expense. I mean, that's kind of the whole point of becoming a tenant, is that when something breaks, if something's wrong with the property, you don't have to deal with it. You just call the landlord and the landlord will deal with it. That doesn't mean that that's always the case. So this would come down to whatever you have in your lease, Miguel. So if you actually stipulated in the lease that the tenant would be responsible for repairs, then the tenant would be responsible for repairs. If you did not put that in the lease, then you would have to be responsible for the repairs. So anything that you rented that was present and working, or a reasonable person should have assumed would have been working when the tenant previewed the property before they signed the lease, you would have to provide that. So if the tenant saw a faucet, the assumption would be that the faucet works. If the tenant moved in and somehow something happened to the faucet, it would be your obligation to fix that faucet. Now, if you had gone in a lease and said, hey, I'll do repairs with everything except for the faucet, then that would not be your responsibility. Or if you had stipulated in the lease that you would not be responsible for repairs, and you wouldn't be. So we commonly do that. So we will, our lease is built in such a way that we'll let the tenant know that, hey, we are going to be responsible for the refrigerator, the central air unit, the stove, the washer, the dryer, the microwave, the garbage disposal, etc., etc. But say the tenant's left a grill, and it's a newer grill, and it looks like it's something that the next tenants might value. We'll actually put in the lease that says, hey, we're going to fix everything except for that grill. If you want the grill, great. If you don't want the grill, dispose of it. If you're using the grill and it's working out great for you and something goes wrong with it, the property owner is not going to be responsible for that bonus grill. So we will actually go ahead and put that in there. And so could you. I mean, I will say, I think that most atypical, what tenants expect is that the landlords would actually make repairs to the property. I mean, it is the landlord's property, not the tenant's. I mean, and also, do you really want a tenant fixing items? You don't have any control if it's a good contractor or a bad contractor. You don't have any control if it's even a contractor at all. Honestly, Miguel, I think actually, obviously, legally, the expense falls to you if you didn't have that built into the lease. And also, I mean, this expense kind of does fall to you. All right, good luck.